Cool. All right. Hi, guys. A very good evening to all of you, and welcome back to our weekly sharing session. My name meeting for all the GEFIONS. Iskandar, our speaker, will be sharing with you how the future GeFi lies in the Stone Age, also the latest crypto news, updates, and potential of our upcoming blockchain games. Before we start, just a heads up that we will be recording these sessions as usual for our internal training purposes. Just a gentle reminder, please remember to mute yourself, and if you have any questions, please feel free to type it at the chat box and our support team will try to answer them behind the screen. Pay attention or pay the price. Without further ado, let us all welcome Iskandar. Yay!
Thank you very much, Tracy. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining today's very important session. It's less of a sharing session and more of an important town hall meeting, as I am going to basically describe to you what GeFi is up to and what the future looks like for us and how we are going to propel GeFi, into the mainstream, if you will. All right, but first, of course, as always, I'd like to go over some cryptocurrency news. So let's talk about some crypto news. A lot has been happening recently. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen a lot of pumps and a lot of dips from certain coins. So let's go over what's been going on. And I hope you guys have been trading away recently. This is a great bull market. Get it while it's hot. All right, so Bitcoin, of course. Bitcoin has reached its all-time high at 68K. This, of course, was just a few days ago. It was massive gains. Yes, this is the all-time high. And, personally, I took some profits from this, but as it is Bitcoin, as it is the gold standard, it may, of course, rise even further in the coming years. Right now, of course, as many other coins are, it is dropping a little bit further down. So as we can see here, you can see that all-time high of 68K. And now see, I just want to highlight this kind of support level here. The price has gone down to about 58K. So we can see it possibly dropping down a little bit further, maybe to 54, or it could even rise again. So keep an eye out for Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is pretty much pumping, and it could pump again very soon because of something called Taproot. So Bitcoin is rolling out its first or its biggest upgrade in about 4 years, and this software upgrade is known as Taproot. This basically means greater transaction privacy and efficiency, and crucially, it will unlock the potential for smart contracts, which is a key feature of blockchain technology. It's already the primary driver of innovation on the Ethereum network, smart contracts that is, as they give you the opportunity to really build applications and businesses on the blockchains using these complex smart contracts, very complex codes with rules. So Taproot will switch over to something known as Schnorr signatures, which essentially makes multi-sig transactions unreadable. So yes, that's greater privacy, as your keys won't have much exposure on the chain, and you can kind of hide who you are a little bit. And Taproot really matters because it opens a breadth of opportunity for entrepreneurs interested in expanding Bitcoin's utility. Now let's move on to Ethereum. Ethereum has hit its all-time high as well, which is pretty awesome. In this bull run, it was about 4,800 USD. So that was massive. You can see here. Yep, that is basically the all-time high. Look at that amazing rise in the last month, which is very good. What you can attest to part of this rise is something called Altair. So Altair is an important upgrade to the Ethereum network. So yeah, this happened about end of October. So before, when the all-time high was 4.4, is because of Altair, and it kept going up because of that. So it's an upgrade to Ethereum, and it went live in October, and it's a pivotal upgrade as it's the first upgrade of the Ethereum Beacon chain since its launch in December of 2020. And the Beacon chain is very important because it introduces proof of stake to the Ethereum ecosystem. I'm sure you guys now know what proof of work and proof of stake is. Well, Ethereum is moving over to proof of stake and has been doing so over the last year or so. So Ethereum 2.0 is basically what it is. Ethereum v2 will change the Ethereum infrastructure, ultimately making proof of work or mining obsolete. So yeah, as I said, it's on the proof of work model, and it's going to shift by 2022 or in 2022, where users will validate their transactions according to how much they're holding, how much, of course, they're staking, right? As opposed to the work that you have to do to validate a Bitcoin transaction, for example. So yeah, it will reduce the energy required significantly and reduce the environmental impact by about 90%, 99% even. So Altair is an important step towards this. You guys know I love to be environmentally conscious. Now let's talk about some of these Ethereum killers. We'll just talk briefly about the price action of Cardano and Solana. So all of these are very, very big and popular blockchains. And of course, this article is highlighting which one is going to come out on top. Of course, Ethereum will effectively come out on top, but these other three are not to be left in the dust. So here is ADA, basically the Charles Hoskinson founded project. Has soared about 1,045% in this year alone. So over the last 90 days, it also gained an amount of 39%, sorry, while it fell about 9% over the last 30 days. So yeah, it reached its all-time high in about September, about $3.1, ahead of the launch of its smart contracts functionality. This was broken, however, due to profit booking later on in the month, and it has declined about 35% from its all-time high. But as you can see, it is still making moves to come up and rise again. Of course, all of these projects will pump, they will rise, and they will always achieve new all-time highs, at least these particular projects here. Let's talk about Solana. So this Solana, the platform that aims to facilitate decentralized applications and be one of the fastest blockchains in the world. And it has seen significant appreciation for this year for the token. It's risen about 14,000% this year so far, 14,000%. As you can see here, it was kind of just about 90 days ago, it was about $20, and it has risen to $242 at the time of this screenshot, and it is very much close to that. So there's massive, massive gains, and it is now the fourth largest coin by market cap. So this growth, this growth has been propelled by factors such as NFTs and DeFi, among others. In September, the Degenerate Ape Academy collection sold for millions. So yeah, there's a lot of NFT projects that are being built and promoted on the Solana blockchain, and secondary sales of Solana NFTs have exceeded $500 million in the last 3 months. And another reason Solana spikes is because it offers much, much lower gas fees than Ethereum's network. Yeah, speaking of NFTs, let's just talk about what's been happening, the NFT ecosystem right now. So OpenSea still dominating with a $10 billion trading volume. Amazing. And Beeple, of course, one of the top NFT artists out there, has sold a digital sculpture called Human One, and it sold for almost $29 million. And here is what it looks like in screenshot format. So NFTs are still on the rise. NFTs are still very much trending. A lot of people thought that the trend would die basically around about now, but it's still as popular as ever, which is great, great news. And of course, Malaysian artist, which is really cool, has released its own NFT in the form of music and music videos. So it sold a total of about 4 million ringgit. So let's just have a sneak preview at what this song sounds like. You can buy it on OpenSea if you like.
NFT. Fuck bank, fuck tax, fuck agency. What? Fuck commission and fuck intermediary. Yeah. Fuck check, fuck cash, paper money. Fuck the party. Go NFT. Fuck bank, fuck tax, fuck agency. Fuck commission and fuck intermediary. Fuck check, fuck cash, paper money. Fuck the party. Go NFT.
Yeah, so that song's basically about NFTs, which is pretty hilarious. And he's got a bunch of collections on his OpenSea. So that's Namwi. And he even released a music video. I'll show a very short version of this, but yeah, this is on YouTube. Yeah, so pretty cool. Love that there are all kinds of NFTs out there, and people are buying them. It's still a lot of trading volume happening on all of the marketplaces, which is really cool. And I would love to highlight something really, really incredible. It's news by two siblings, 14 years old and 9 years old, Ishan and Anya Thakur, who have mined $160,000 worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's their main ones. Basically, by building their own computers. They build their own computers and they have it held at a data center while they're at school, which is pretty insane. And they did this all just by watching YouTube. So these are the two siblings. Very amazing, very, very smart. If these guys can make this kind of money, then so can you. All right, guys, so that's it for the news. I will be talking through some more articles and news about GameFi and Metaverse, but that will be more in the context of GeFi as well to show its potential. So that being said, let us get into it. Let's get it into our GeFi and StoneAge Town Hall meeting. All right, so you guys want to know what exactly is happening. What is happening with GeFi right now? What's happening with GEG? What is happening with Gemstones? What's happening with StoneAge? And I will be glad to tell you all about it. So let's just talk about the price of GEG right now, basically. So yes, as we know, the price of GEG over the last few months has been steadily declining and it has dropped. But the big thing here was that once it hit about $100, there was a lot of panic selling. So there was a huge drop off in the price once it hit $100. And honestly, it was more when it hit $80 around here, which was launch price, is when a lot of people had sold. Of course, the people that would have bought at $80, if it goes under, of course, people will be losing money technically, but they only lose it if they sell, as opposed to if they hold once it rises again. So that's what people decide to do. You can't really stop that from happening. But yes, the price had dramatically dropped because of it. And it can be attested to other things as well. So initially, of course, GeFi had launched. We only had our yield farming service and they had high APYs. It was really high. And as usual with your yield farms, APYs drop as more people use them as time goes by. And of course, we had reduced our emissions and therefore people had sold even more. And, people are just capitalizing on this volatility here, which is why you're seeing the price go up and down. And GeFi doesn't want this to happen. It never wants it to happen. But unfortunately, it did. And it's hit this support line at launch. So panic sellers have tried to cut their loss and it has caused a price drop, but it can also be attested to do other significant events. And that would be because of coin burning. So we had our GEG burning day on the 1st of November, and this was the GEG that was used to buy some gemstones. So it was a percentage of the GEG that was used to buy the GES after the IDO and the ISO. So we burned about 3,052 GEG, and this was supposed to, help the price. That is what it does. It affects the supply and demand. You cut a bit of the supply and there is more demand, the price goes up. We can actually see that happen in the chart here. So that 1st of November, right, that is exactly when we burned the GEG. And so it did shoot up. But the thing is as this price increased, there were people who understood that this was happening. And because it was already low, people were losing money. They thought, well, let's just sell it here and still make some kind of profit. So yeah, people had dumped, unfortunately, when the price was rising. If people had not dumped, of course, the price may have very well gone up to over $150 and may have seen some stability there, as opposed to people dumping and seeing a less stability and a bit more volatility in the lower price region, unfortunately. But hey, that's not what we expected, and we can't really stop people from doing that. But that is basically why that happened. And of course, another reason is our ape swap migration. So the reason that we kind of did the ape swap migration is because we want to be exposed to a different market and we want to just gain more exposure. Basically, we want other people from other countries to be exposed to our GeFi project. Unfortunately, of course, the big reason people had kind of cut their losses or also sold during this is because, you know, they removed their LP and they just cut off of GeFi, as this is our second pool migration. You know, our TVL had decreased and our price had dropped. But yeah, we wanted to go to ApeSwap because it does offer better terms and conditions for GeFi, and the fresh pools would have introduced higher APYs. But yeah, basically those are some of the events that led to our GEG price. So that's the GEG price analysis. Now let's just talk more on the StoneAge. So StoneAge is going to be massive moving forward. This is going to propel us forward. So I'm going to be talking a lot about StoneAge. All right, so let's get to it. Let's talk about our GES IDO basically. So yeah, so with our GES IDO, of course, that was a success. We had sold out our GES, but why we did do our IDO on Dodo is because Dodo does happen to be a China-based DEX and is the biggest DEX in China. And we know, of course, China has done its regulations on cryptocurrency, but it actually encourages the use of decentralized exchanges and NFTs and the metaverse. So it's, you know, it's a little, people might not have understood that, but yeah, actually China isn't totally against cryptocurrency. It's just trying to create regulations. I mean, people get, you know, scammed all the time, right? There you have to kind of do your regulations. So yeah, it was, we wanted to move to Dodo so that we get a huge market exposure as well. So it's the biggest DEX in China and there's billions of people in that country. So that would be a reason that we had gone, you know, to Dodo to do our IDO. Also, Dododex offers a different kind of revenue algorithm than most other exchanges. It has something called a PMM as opposed to an AMM. So yeah, it's one of the few exchanges that might take over the DEX space by solving some of the most fundamental problems of an AMM. So yeah, so AMM is the automated market makers and PMM is proactive market maker. And this features highly capital efficient liquidity pools and supports single token provision as well. So I'll just go over this quickly, but basically, yeah, an AMM automates the process of market making by pooling liquidity for two assets and replacing the order books with a simple fixed curve to determine the current price based on the current amount of each asset held. So by determining the price of the LP basically, whereas a PMM proactively adjusts parameters such as asset ratio and curve slope in anticipation of market conditions. So basically, in layman's terms, that it basically combats impermanent loss. So that's what adjusting the parameters really does. It kind of reduces your impermanent loss. So yes, PMM improves capital efficiency. It minimizes slippage for traders. So yeah, that also counts for slippage and reduces impermanent loss. Whereas AMM isn't exactly a perfect solution, as it comes with its several limitations, such as low fund utilization, additional risk exposure, and of course, impermanent loss. And, you know, LPs have realized that market making isn't risk-free and impermanent loss can incur, resulting in losses, of course. Whereas, you know, PMM and Dododex is doing that to combat impermanent loss, which means you lose a lot less money by staking and your price ratio, while as the price ratio kind of fluctuates. So yeah, PMM is a reason that we went to Dodo as well as its market. All right, and we also had an IDO on Fly Launchpad. And the reason we did this is so that we would get exposed to the Russian market. So this is a more popular DEX in Russia. As I said, it's all about exposure. At this point, we want to get more people and more investors coming into GeFi. So that's a very important part of it. Of course, we want to bring in more people and more long-term investors to come into our project. And while the IDO has launched, of course, we are now officially listed on Dodo. So you can just buy your gemstones on Dodo, no problem. And we're also on ApeSwap, which is very, very cool. So yes, that's basically three other DEXs that we have basically collaborated with. So we are really increasing the exposure here, which is great news, honestly. All right, guys. And now the most important thing to get from today's session is that the future of GeFi lies in the Stone Age, right? GES and Stone Age is what is really going to move GeFi forward. So the future of GeFi comes with all of its upcoming services that will launch through Stone Age. So yes, you know, the NFT marketplace was the beginning. So we start with the NFT marketplace, but really it serves as its foundation, and the real push, the real pump starts from the blockchain games. So yeah, Stone Age will have play to earn games where you can earn money by playing games. So let's just quickly go over our marketplace. Yeah, so our marketplace launch is of course a successful launch with just under 500 NFTs created on our website itself, and more that were translated into Stone Age and being sold, of course. And what we aim to do is, as I said, bring more traffic to Stone Age. And it's a big reason why we launched GES on Dodo and Fly, and why we're getting pools on Dodo and ApeSwap, which I will talk about in a second. And so, yeah, by doing this, we bring more eyes to our screens from people of different countries. And what's really encouraging is that the traffic that we do have on Stone Age is actually quite active. And we can see this by looking at the trade history from our NFTs. So let's just have a look at 3 particular NFTs. So there's this particular NFT here. As you can see, it's being sold quite regularly, actually. So it actually started at around 100 or 200 BUSD. And over time, it's just being resold and resold. And now it's selling at 1,800 BUSD, which is really, really awesome. You know, there's a lot of people are actually sticking on Stone Age, and they're buying NFTs and they are trading them, which is really cool. The South Park NFT, of course, this was originally under 1,000 GES, and now it's gone up to 1,500 GES, and now is being sold for 100 BUSD. So there is a lot going on. Whether or not it exponentially rises so much, it's still being, you know, passed around. People are active on this project. And our Stone Age Mosaic as well, it has gone from from 10,000 GES to now 625,000 GES is what it is selling for, which is insane. So it's really great to see that NFTs are in fact being traded, and there is massive resale value too. And the artists of these NFTs are receiving royalties. So I urge you to keep creating and marketing your own NFTs, of course. Not only will you bring traffic to our project, but you will constantly be earning money through your royalties. And like these 3 artists have been doing. So if let's say you're getting like 10% of a sale, you know, this guy, you know, is getting at least 100 BUSD every time someone is selling their art, and they've already sold it for a large amount already. So yeah, awesome stuff. We see proof that people are making money on Stone Age. And we also have a new Stone Age store. So the store is now live. And this is basically a collaboration with other artists and projects. When we collab, they bring NFTs onto our platform that are ready to be traded. So far, we have collaborated with Smiling World and Classy Rogue. I'm sure you guys have seen the NFTs here, but basically this is what they look like. So they'll have their own page on Stone Age, but they also have their own collection advertised elsewhere. And here are the Smiling Guys NFTs. So yeah, so we aim to bring more artists and projects into our Stone Age store, and that will increase exposure and traffic for the Stone Age, which is great. Now, as I mentioned before, we have launched a pool through Dododex, and you can stake GES USDT to earn GES. And it's live, and it's got some pretty attractive APRs. So yeah, this is different to our usual pools. It doesn't follow the APY, and this is PMM, and it is an APR, so annual percentage. It's not the annual percentage yield. It's not that. It's based on the year, basically. So yeah, I'd like to show you the gains actually made by one of our community members, which will be great to see. So this was day 1. Basically, they locked in about 30,000 into this particular pool, the GES USD pool, and their reward in a day was about $700, which is pretty insane. $700 in just one day. The second day, that went up to $1,860. Again, that's just in 2 days time. 3 days time, that went up to 2,464, and finally $2,700. And this was just in a few days. He's making, over like 4K in a week, basically, which is insane. So yeah, you gotta just get it while it's hot. At least, you gotta get into the stake pools for sure. So yeah, thank you to our community member, DeFi Den, for providing us with your gains, for sharing your gains with us. Now we're also launching another pool on ApeSwap, and that's GESBNB. So this will be very, very soon, in the next week or so, at least before the month is over. It should be released by the end of November. So yeah, this is going to be great. You'll be able to stake GES and BNB and earn GES, or possibly even Banana, which is the ApeSwap token. But that will be announced very, very soon. So we will, of course, let you know what goes on there. Now, we got some awesome news as well. We are officially got StoneAge listed on CoinGecko. Amazing, amazing stuff. Of course, we already had GEG on CoinGecko, but now we have GES listed on CoinGecko, one of the top crypto aggregators in the entire world. I use CoinGecko all the time, just for a quick look to see what's happening with the coins and to see all the rankings, of course. And not only that, but we're listed on CoinMarketCap as well. So that's two of the top crypto aggregators out there, which is going to be really, really cool. And as I've said, exposure is very important here. And this is going to help us put GeFi and StoneAge on the map, or we're going to zoom in on the map and you'll see us there. A lot of people will now catch us, which is going to be great. All right, now that is about that and on the NFT side of things. But we are now going to be talking about play to earn. So we're going to be looking at the potential of blockchain games as well as the metaverse, and related to our StoneAge project. So we're going to have a very cool sneak preview at our first upcoming NFT integration into our P2E games. So we are going to have some kind of sneak preview into what you'll be able to see in our games. And yeah, so we're going to talk about first the potential of blockchain games. So how can blockchain games change the world? How is this possible? Firstly, I just want to highlight that in general, the global gaming market is currently worth $180 billion. And that's the fastest growing form of entertainment globally. And as reference, the global film industry is worth $100 billion. So games is worth a lot more than films are. And even all of the North American sports combined, that's about 73 billion in terms of annual revenue. So gaming is honestly the most attractive thing that you can come across. There's so much money that goes into it and so much money that comes out of it. And it's 3 of the top 4 most viewed United States sporting events in 2018 itself were not even traditional sporting events. They were esports. It was all about games. 3 of the 4 top viewed sporting events were esports. It was people watching games. You know what I mean? For example, League of Legends had 30 million more views than the AFC Championship, which is pretty insane. Let's take a look at some of course, the gaming articles that we get out there. Of course, people are very bullish on P2E. They're ushering in the next generation of platforms. Yeah, honestly, blockchain games are really, really paving a new era in gaming, which is awesome. You're going to see a lot of revolutionary things coming up very soon. And yes, as I said, it is a catalyst for the bullish period in the markets right now. You can see a lot of the game tokens are really, really pumping right now. So I would definitely get invested into some of the gaming tokens and the metaverse tokens. And not only that, but as we know, even at the start of this year, months before this article was published in November, that Filipinos especially were finding financial freedom in the pandemic with the cryptocurrency game. So that was mainly Axie for sure, but people were able to find financial freedom during a global pandemic just by playing games. I mean, that's pretty insane, and that's where the future is looking. People are just going to play games to earn money, which is awesome. And even here, yeah, this is an article about an actor in Taiwan who was broke into press, and they just started a gaming company basically, which is really very, very cool. And yeah, as I said, people are making a living playing Axie Infinity, and some people are earning about $2,000 a month just by playing these games, which is pretty crazy. So that shows kind of the potential of people earning money on a day-to-day basis just by playing some blockchain games. And yeah, now we have our blind box preview, which is super exciting. So the very first P2E by StoneAge is coming, and this is the main service that brings the whole project up. So StoneAge is proudly launching Totem blind box. That's right. These are kind of like mystery boxes that have what we call troops. So troops are going to be NFTs. They're going to be characters, and these characters you'll be able to use in your play to earn games that are coming to StoneAge very, very soon. So basically, you can see down here, there are these percentages, 50% common, 28% uncommon, and 1% epic, basically. So if you get one of these mystery boxes, the Totem blind boxes, you have this much chance of gaining a character that is either common, uncommon, unique, rare, or epic. And according to the rarity, of course, it will have its higher, power, mining power, and it will be more rare NFTs that you can use in your games, and you'll be able to earn more money through something that we will discuss very soon, the stake camp. So you'll be able to stake your NFTs and earn money, and the higher the rarity, the more that you will earn. So this is super, super exciting. This is our first look basically at our Totem blind box, and this is coming up really, really soon, very, very soon. So get your funds ready, because you are going to be able to get your hands on these very, very soon. So yeah, the chief will be launching these, and you can stand a chance to win them. And basically these are characters in 6 different levels, attributes, mining powers, and skins. So yeah, these unlocked characters can be staked to earn BNB, and these characters will be synced to the StoneAge game in January of 2022. So yeah, before I show you the sneak preview, I'd like to just go over Axie Infinity. So yes, it has been doing amazing runs this year. Of course, I'm going to take Axie as an example because it's the top performing blockchain game that's out there. But basically in the last 7 days, it has about an $883 million trading volume with about 400,000 users, and it doesn't show here, but basically it went from under $1 to over $150 in this year itself. And that's partially due to the pandemic and people finally crossing over into crypto. Because, it's technically, we're not in the early days of crypto anymore. That was a few years ago. We just got into the middle stages, basically. But yeah, so Axie has had a massive boom. And the thing is, it didn't achieve this overnight. It was, in operation for at least 2 years. Maybe a year and a half before it had its massive boom. So yeah, that is Axie. And this is, this is where it was. So this was under $1 in January. So it was $0.5 in January. And now as we end the year, it has gone up to $150. So, it's all about patience, really. It's all about patience and faith in the project. So that's Axie's performances, which is awesome. And yes, of course, it has its battle aspect, but I want to highlight something. It's other ways of earning money through Axie Infinity isn't just by playing the game, but it's something like scholarships. Basically, you can buy your Axies and give it to someone else, and they'll play with it. You don't have to play with it, but you earn some kind of cut and they'll earn it. So a 50-50 or 70-30 or whatever, people are earning that money by buying Axies, giving it to other people to play with, and then splitting the revenue that they get, which is a really cool way. That's something that hopefully will happen with our GeFi games as well, our StoneAge games. But not only that, but there is this thing called breeding, right? And why I want to highlight this is because it utilizes both of the Axie tokens that are out there. So it has AXS and SLP. So this concept is integral moving forward, as we are going to be integrating GEG and GES in a similar fashion. So it's not like you're going to only need GES or only need GEG for whatever. Like, you don't need just GEG for your yield farming, and you don't need just GES for your StoneAge games, but you will need both of them for the games. So yeah, as you can see, you'll need 200 SLP and 1 Axie to be able to breed these guys, and you'll have a few eggs. They'll hatch and you can just sell them, and you've earned so much money just by breeding your axes. And that's something that we are going to look forward to bringing, or a similar kind of concept, into our StoneAge games. Let's talk about Mbox 2 very quickly. So in its 7 days, it's got about 7 million trading volume and about 100,000 users, which is really, really cool. And it's reached its all-time high of about 9.77. Now, this is a really, really good performance, as the previous months, it was below $1 as well. It was below $1 and shot up. Of course, it's stabilizing a bit now. It has corrections, as things do, but this is a great sign, and we might see it even boom even more. And it's great that we have collaborated with them in our pools. Now, this has got a really cool feature where you can stake your NFTs to earn money, and we will have a very similar feature coming soon. So basically, these things have hash power, and our things will have mining power. And when you stake your NFTs, you will earn, and the higher the hash power, the more rewards that you are going to get. And so this will be heavily integrated into our game. So let's have a look, shall we? All right, guys, here is our stake camp preview. This is going to be really exciting, and I'm looking forward to this actually going live. All right, so this is basically what the user interface is going to look like in our new StoneAge. So you'll have your home, you'll have your clan rank, your mining camp, and you can go back to the marketplace. So your clan will be all of the troops that you have, and your rank is basically how powerful your troops are and how powerful your clan is. And your mining camp is where you can stake. So let's have a look. So yes, this is what the mining camp will look like at the Stonehenge. Of course, if you're familiar with the Stonehenge, this is where you'll be able to mine, you'll be able to collect, you'll be able to merge your NFTs together, and you'll be able to upgrade them to have even more powerful mining power, basically. So let's have a look at the troops. So these are a sneak preview of what your troops are going to look like. See, you can evolve your troops. So basically, you'll be able to upgrade your troops. You can stake it in your camp. And this little axe here basically is the mining power. So depending on the mining power, as I've said, will depend on how much rewards you will get as well. And here's a better look at all of the different troops. So we've got archers, sword masters, wizards, and you can see they all have varying mining powers. So yeah, super exciting that this is coming very, very soon. You'll be able to get these characters from your Totem blind box, which is going to be really, really awesome. So get your hands on that soon, guys. It's launching very soon. And here's our clan rank. So you'll be able to see the top miner clans. There will be leaderboards, of course, at the strongest clans and the strongest troops. And it's likely that these leaderboards will have some effect on our reward system as well. So if you're one of the top clans, you may even get rewards during seasons, for example, like Axie does. So yeah, super awesome sneak preview. And of course, we do have more games that are going to be coming out as time goes on. We got our farming games, and we've got our battle games coming up soon, which is really, really cool. Looking forward to it very much. And yeah, I just want to stress the importance of our GEG and Gemstone integration. So once all of our services have launched, GEG and GES will pump hand in hand. They are going to be bound together once our blockchain games come out. So we will use GEG for some activities within the StoneAge play to earn games. So yes, that's how we will also bring the GEG pricing back up. So when there's more games to play, or when the games are launched and you got to use your gemstones, you're going to have to use your GEG as well. And they will be heavily integrated, which is going to be really awesome. So yeah, they are going to help us pump everything back into order, you know? So we just got to wait for our blockchain games, everybody. Fear not. Now, I do want to have a talk about the metaverse. I'm sure you guys have known there's a lot of metaverse news happening very, very recently. So as we work towards the StoneAge metaverse, which is going to be massive, and of course the step in the right direction, almost a few steps ahead, honestly. Some people don't even know what a metaverse is, and other projects aren't even going to delve into the metaverse, which is their loss, to be honest. But yeah, I'd like to talk about the Metaverse Potential and show you a couple clips too. So this goes beyond just gaming. Okay, there's social networking, social events, entertainment, business meetings, and of course, e-commerce and marketing is all going to be revolutionized through the metaverse. There's a massive, massive metaverse potential that will basically influence how people are going to live their lives. You know, who knows what it's going to be like in 10 years. And Facebook, of course, one of the biggest companies in the world, has already made moves into creating their metaverse. They've already sank in a few million, $50 million into it, and are going to hire about 10,000 workers in Europe to get ahead of this metaverse. And they've actually released a few clips. So I would love to share with you very quickly some of the clips by Facebook.
Imagine you put on your glasses or headset and you're instantly in your home space. It has parts of your physical home recreated virtually. It has things that are only possible virtually. And it has an incredibly inspiring view of whatever you find most beautiful.
Hey, are you coming?
Yeah, just gotta find something to wear. All right, perfect.
Boy.
Oh, hey, Mark. Hey, what's going on?
Hi.
Mark. What's up, Mark?
Whoa, we're floating in space? Who made this place? It's awesome.
Right? It's from a creator I met in LA.
This place is amazing.
Boz, is that you?
Of course it's me. You know I had to be the robot, man.
I thought I was supposed to be the robot.
Whoa.
I knew you were bluffing.
Hey, wait. Where is Naomi?
Let's call her.
Naomi.
Hey, should we deal you in?
Hey, sorry I'm running late, but you've got to see what we're checking out. There's an artist going around Soho hiding AR pieces for people to find.
3D street art? That's cool.
Send that link over so we can all look at it. This is stunning.
Okay, that is something.
That's awesome.
Wow. I love the movement.
Wait, it's disappearing.
This is amazing.
Hold on, I'll tip the artist and they'll extend it.
Wow, brilliant.
If you guys like it here, I have another room that you're gonna love. Check out this forest room.
Huh, let's see it.
Koi fish that fly? That's new.
This is wild.
Yeah, so as you can see, it's not just going to change the way people play games. It's going to change the way people live, honestly, and people experience life. This is so much bigger than what people can really even imagine. And imagination is really key here, because it's going to be those awesome creators who build these metaverses for us. And that is just the way of the future. And yes, that is a bit of life, but let's just have a look at maybe how metaverse could be used in a working and
Over the last year and a half, a lot of us who work in offices have gone remote. And while I miss seeing the people I work with, I think remote work is here to stay for a lot of people. So we're gonna need better tools to work together. Let's take a look at what working in the metaverse will be like. Imagine if you could be at the office without the commute. You would still have that sense of presence, shared physical space, those chance interactions that make your day all accessible from anywhere. Now imagine that you have your perfect work setup and you can actually do more than you could in your regular work setup. And on top of all that, you can keep wearing your favorite sweatpants.
Looking good. Let's get together real quick for a debrief.
I'm free now. Let's jump in. Hi.
Hey.
So what do we think?
I think it's ready.
Great.
I'll prep it for the presentation.
All right. Good luck.
Imagine a space where you can tune out distractions and focus on the task at hand. And when you're ready to share what you've been working on, you can present it as if you're right there with the team.
Wait, where's Mark? I think he's in the middle of something.
So yeah, super cool. I'm glad that we have, that Facebook is actually making moves towards the metaverse, and this announcement itself has actually pumped up a lot of metaverse tokens as well. It's gotten a lot of traction, a lot of traffic in the metaverse crypto space. So let's talk about that as well. So basically, here are all the game and metaverse tokens that are out there. These are the top ones so far, and these are already in the top 100, the top 200. Basically, there are massive games. Of course, Axie is number one, but Mana, Engine, and Sandbox are all huge games that I am really excited for. And there are other games down here which are really cool as well. Star Atlas is going to be pretty awesome, I think. So I would take a look at that. But yeah, let's just look at this graph at Mana. So this is basically when Mark Zuckerberg has announced its metaverse, when they announced their metaverse. So it had a massive boom, and of course has corrected and retraced, but is doing very well. It's pumping a lot right now, as is Sand. This is exactly the same time where Facebook announced and its corrections, and is pumping right now. Everything right now, this second, is dipping except for Metaverse tokens, which is insane. Metaverse does not care about the dip. It is going up, honestly. Even smaller ones like Mist, a really small token, is also gaining traction from the Metaverse announcement. So, this is a really low price. It has potential to 3, 5, 10x because of this, which is going to be really exciting to look for. And of course, we, GeFi, have partnered with Oasis, as you know. Project Oasis itself has had a massive pump very recently, as it went under $2 to about $8.69. And we are heavily involved with Project Oasis, as we have our building inside the metaverse itself. To its left is PancakeSwap, and to its right is ApeSwap. So it's in the middle of two massive decentralized exchanges. So as you can see, Project Oasis is pumping, which means it's gaining more traffic, which means we will gain more traffic. And people can use this to basically just exchange their coins and use this to stake and just manage their yield farms, which is really awesome. And I'm glad that we're already have our foot in the door, which is very cool. So yeah, guys, basically, why should we have faith in GeFi? This is a very important question. I know a lot of people have lost confidence. We can see that by the drop in price, but why should we have faith in GeFi? First of all, I want to give props to the team, the developers. There is a lot of hard work coming from the internal team. They're coming up with lots of strategies to help bring up the whole project, and they're working very hard to make sure that everything comes out on time, which of course is happening. Our services are all launching within the time frame. Our roadmap, which you can see on our Gitbook, we are hitting those targets flawlessly. Basically, we are always launching our services on time. So, there is no delay. There is no screwing around here, And as I've mentioned many times, we are increasing our exposure. We are expanding our circles. We've got ApeSwap, Dododex, Fly Launchpad. We're listed on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. We are getting our name out there. We are going to get some more traffic coming into GeFi. And of course, that isn't going to be super possible, our pump, until we launch our play to earn games. And as I've shown you, play to earn has huge potential for people across the world to make money, to earn a living basically as well. And there are all these kinds of ways that you can, especially as our StoneAge game comes out. We're going to be integrating GEG and Gemstones, and that will have a major effect on their price, as people will need to have both to be able to experience our StoneAge games. And yes, the metaverse as well. Metaverse is a huge part of it. The metaverse is the future of how people are going to experience life. What I showed you with that Facebook video is that Facebook has announced that they want to create this in the next 10 years. So really, in 10 years' time, that may be just how people live. maybe when I give you this presentation in 10 years time, you'll actually see me sitting down at a desk, and I'll see all of you guys, and I can just present to you, as if I'm really, really there. And we might not be in an office room, we might be on a beach, on a virtual beach or anything. The possibilities are endless. I think it's super, super cool, and is the way of the future. I've basically invested in a lot of Metaverse tokens very recently, as well, as I truly believe in it. And that's why I have faith in GeFi. I have huge faith in the project. And of course, we are a strong community with people with strong beliefs. Of course, we still have a lot of holders, which is very, very encouraging, which is great. Passionate community with passionate members. So if you're still holding GEG, you're still holding gemstones, keep holding, watch the growth of this project, and stay tuned with more upcoming good news. So yeah, that is all that I have to say. Of course, keep up with our community. If you haven't already, here are our links. And please watch our YouTube channel if you've missed any of our previous sharing sessions before. We have stuff more on Metaverse, more on blockchain games, NFTs, as well as StoneAge and yield farming. So yes, please check that out. And yeah, thank you guys for attending. Thank you so much for coming.
All right, thanks. Crypto news. I hope everyone gets some updates here. And I guess we will just end here. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you and good night. See you then.